Olhemos, senhores, girar a roda da vida e seu séquito. Reparem, senhoras, que há silêncio, menor balbuceio, estaria parado no ar. Máquinas do mundo há milênios espalham seus sons, seus portentos, tecem obras.
A palavra lava o que a gente mente, a palavra mente onde a gente sente, a palavra cansa, a palavra mansa, a palavra passa o que a gente pensa. Palavrador is an interactive computer artwork conceived and produced in 2006 during the 38th Winter Festival, sponsored by UFMG, Federal University of Minas Gerais, Brazil, in Diamantina, a city that is a world monument by UNESCO. During 15 days, artists and professors from Brazilian universities and abroad used a transdisciplinary methodology to create content that would reflect the complex scenario and winning arts, science and philosophy. At this audiovisual workshop, a proposal for a work created through collective authorship mixing visual arts, literature and music emerged. Such proposal wasn't thought out in advance. The workshop was beside the official agenda and emerged from the spontaneous and self-organized transdisciplinary activities of the people involved in it. The results and consequences of this group work were bigger than the sum of the parts. This is a typical behavior of a complex system that produces an emergent property, since it is an object of creativity on the perspective of art. Palavrador is a collective, poetic, integrated and multi-fragmented expression which contains diverse world visions. Palavrador is a poetic cyberworld built in 3D. It uses computational procedures, applying artificial life behaviors based on autonomous agents, and computer graphics techniques to create poetic expressions. It was conceived and implemented as a result of synergic collective assemblage of ideas and activities of the whole group. Authors with backgrounds on arts, literature and computer science worked together in order to conceive and produce a cyberworld which has an interface as interactive as games, as dynamic as motion pictures, and as deep as a poetic discourse. Free from the constraints imposed by written texts, the poetry in Palavrador flies thus using computer graphics and artificial intelligence to archive new articulations in its aesthetic structure, unveiling different conceptual possibilities. Poems from several authors were assembled, acquiring new formal expressions. Poetic verses constructed as graphics pictures, archived as scenographic dimension, surpassing ornamental characteristics and acquiring strength as interactive actors. 6 flocks of meandering poems autonomously wander through the three-dimensional space. The interactors may choose how many flocks of poems they want to see wandering through the environment. The logic of movements was implemented using artificial intelligence procedures based on swarm behavior and steering behaviors of autonomous locomotion agents. The poems are able to turn around obstacles to keep their unveiling cohesion while moving through the space. Among the virtual objects of the Palavrador, there is a labyrinth whose architecture is generated by mathematical procedures, fractals. The models that are part of the labyrinth receive texture maps organized through a procedural, poetic logic engineered for computational systems. Such logic allows real-time actualization of the words and the poems mapped over the faces of the model, changing from time to time and according to the positions occupied by the avatars. There are also video poems scattered through the virtual space. The sound of the spoken poems is modulated according to the distance of the interactors in relation with the audio font, creating an immersive journey with a music dimension. The interactors may choose between 2 avatars to represent them inside the virtual environment. One of them flies and the other meanders through the space. The dynamic of each avatar shows a variety of poetic connotations. The Mandarin avatar has a tale formed by 7 letters, creating a kinetic poem. Besides that, it's possible to make the avatars throw up flying poems using the joystick. Some of the images used in scenarios were generated using photos of Diamantina City, which is a colonial city. Among those scenarios, there are sculptures that decorate fountains of drinkable water scattered through the whole city, ornate floors, and typical details that enriched the colonial architecture.
A palavra lava o que a gente mente, a palavra mente onde a gente sente, a palavra cansa, a palavra mansa, a palavra passa o que a gente pensa.
Máquinas do mundo há milênios espalham seus sons.
In sum, Palavrador is the verbalization of palavra, the Portuguese word for word. Palavrador implies action. The creative achievement of words in symbiosis with humans may change our point of view due to concepts that come from the artificial life field. The autonomous poems that add new perspectives to art and literature bring ideas from other disciplines like computer science and biology. Therefore, the original concepts will never be the same.